Here's the latest tonight on an I-team investigation into the Buffalo Catholic Diocese longtime attorney. Tonight, we're learning that Terry Connors could be facing his own legal trouble. As our chief investigator, Charlie Speck, shows us now, Connors' law firm is now part of a federal investigation looking into his work with the Catholic Diocese.
I'm going to have to hear from my attorneys.
One of the few constants in the Diocese of Buffalo's sex abuse crisis is Terry Connors.
Terry Connors, whom you all know, who helps us with these challenges in our diocese.
The influential criminal defense attorney has done legal work for 4 bishops, stretching back 3 decades. Here he is in 1993, talking about notorious pedophile priests Corky Mock and John Aurelio.
In conjunction with the need for the diocesan investigation to continue.
And in 1994, disputing allegations against Father Joseph Friel, who now has 9 child abuse lawsuits filed against him.
I also spoke to diocesan attorney Terrence Connors today. Mr. Connors tells me the allegations fall outside the legal statute of limitations, that there have never been any similar allegations made against Father Friel.
But Buffalo now has a new bishop, and it's unclear whether he will keep Connors on as a diocesan attorney, especially since Connors may be facing legal troubles of his own. Sources confirmed with the I-team that federal investigators appear to be scrutinizing the role of Connors' law firm as part of their federal investigation into the Buffalo Diocese. The feds appear to be looking into the settlement program announced by Bishop Malone and Connors last year.
What we have tried to do is to develop a program that is extremely user-friendly.
Connors called it the gold standard of settlement programs, but victims said they went months without hearing back from the diocese, which rejected more victims, 135, than the 106 it ended up compensating.
The people who knew about the abuse need to step down or let go. Auxiliary Bishop Gross being one of them, Terry Connors another.
At Saturday's meeting of the Movement to Restore Trust, abuse survivor Michael Whalen implored interim Bishop Edward Scharfenberger to get rid of Bishop Malone's key aides like Connors.
Get rid of all the bad apples, starting with Bishop Gross and Terry Connors. Everyone who knew about the abuse for decades and did nothing.
The I-team asked Scharfenberger about Connors at his introductory news conference last week. We advised Mr. Connors a few weeks ago that we have learned that the involvement of his law firm is now the focus of a federal investigation. Given that, do you think that you would be open to considering keeping that law firm on here as a law firm for the diocese?
Yeah, obviously I would be open to anything. There's no vested position of anybody who is an agent or an employee or professional or otherwise of the diocese. But of course, a charge alone is not a conclusion, and we would have to see where that plays out. I certainly am concerned about any sort of a conflict of interest situation. So if I see that there is evidence of that too, obviously is something I would have to act on.
Reached by phone last month, Connors said Buffalo's bishops did not always listen to his advice. Monday, Connors' firm put out a statement saying in part, the diocese continues to cooperate. We have not been told that our firm is the focus of any review. He made similar remarks in August to I-team investigator Ed Dranch.
What do you say to critics who point out that you've been the lawyer for the diocese for the last 30 years, as many of these crimes were being hidden from the public?
Well, it's not true that we were directly involved in those issues. Many of the decisions that are being criticized are canonical decisions. But nevertheless, what I've observed over the years has been efforts on the parts of bishops to do the right thing.
But Father Richard Biernat, Bishop Malone's closest confidant until he blew the whistle on the bishop, said in September that Malone relied heavily on Connors.
He seems to be behind every decision. Bishop will not do the right thing unless Terry says it's okay to do it.
But you're saying that there's a difference between doing the best thing legally and doing the best thing morally.
Absolutely. That would come from the angle of limiting the liability of the diocese. So they treat victims as enemies because they may sue the diocese.